Hi Internet people, my name is Jude and welcome to Keep It Literature, where I talk about all things literature. I have decided to go ahead and hammer out my Booktube newbie tag. Unfortunately, I am very ADHD and I have neglected to write down the questions for my Booktube newbie tag, so instead I'm here informally for my Booktube tag and speaking from the heart.
Sometimes a man must be bold enough to speak from the heart.
To really explain why I love books today, I do have to go back a little bit in time to when I was a wee little lad and I was living in a really shitty environment in what you might call a broken home. To escape from that reality, I often turned to books and video games to take me out of it. And since I was poor, video games wasn't a huge option. But going to the library at my school was, because I could bring those home and people would just ignore me and I could read. I could escape into another reality and I did not have to deal with the bullshit, you might say. As a young kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD and autism and dyslexia, so getting into reading was a challenge, but that was the only thing I had to do back then. So I developed an interest in Goosebumps and Series of Unfortunate Events, Magic Treehouse books, the Harry Potter series. All of these during my elementary days was what kept me going. And I continued that journey into middle school, where when they assigned us assigned reading, I actually enjoyed it because that meant another book that I could read. I really loved books such as The Outsiders, which turned out to be one of my favorite books of all time.
My favorite book.
The Lord of the Flies, The Scarlet Letter. This continued my reading journey until I got to high school, where I was reading George Orwell and others, and that really solidified how much I loved reading. I know that assigned reading is not for everyone. In fact, I think a lot of people get turned off of reading by assigned reading.
This sucks, this really sucks.
So it's not a really good way to introduce people to literature, but for me as a fan of reading already, that was just another book to go on my shelf. So I was very fortunate in that fact. I was unfortunate in the fact that I did not make many friends through school. I didn't have the social skills to make those friends, and I didn't develop those until later in life. That being said, I did have a small group of friends that really tolerated my silliness.
Because I'm a silly little boy, and I like to be silly all the time.
And I do not know when to not be silly, because one of my special interests was sitcoms, and watching so many sitcoms, I adopted those into my personality. And unfortunately, being a sitcom person in real life does not really go over well.
He is weird.
And I can't tell when to be serious and when to be silly, so unfortunately that has taken me into some examples of life where I should not be silly, and I have ruined relationships because of it. Here I am now with the power to have a Booktube channel where I can be silly, where I can be myself, and that's why I'm here. Not only to share my silliness with you, but to keep myself accountable. With my ADHD, I do procrastinate. I do put off my hobbies. And one of those hobbies that I have been putting off a lot recently was reading, and I fell out of the habit. And I need something to keep me in the groove, to keep them synapses strong and fired up, where it will keep me reading what I like to read. To keep my hobby going strong, I have decided that I need to hold myself accountable, and creating a community on YouTube is something that will allow me to do that. I could probably come up with 100 reasons why I shouldn't do Booktube. Maybe I don't look the part. Maybe people will judge me because my teeth's broken, or my equipment sucks, or I'm not really good at editing. But I'm tired of making excuses. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do something that I enjoy, that just takes my mind off of what's going on. And at the moment, reading is keeping me sane. Like when I was a little boy, I'm going through some shit right now, and I really need to just escape, and reading is helping me doing that. I've started reading stuff like The Lies of Locke Lamora, Brandon Sanderson. I've started reading some of my favorite books as a child. I just reread through The Outsiders again. Still holds up today. Being a silly boy, though, does not mean that I'm not going to be honest. with the content that I make, I will share my honest opinion, and I do not want an echo chamber. I don't care if you disagree with me, because that's what's supposed to happen. If we all had the same opinions, it wouldn't be fun. We wouldn't need to share conversation. The echo chamber is out. So if I ever drop anything and you don't agree with me, feel free to say, hey man, I think you're wrong, and this is why. Because I like to read opposing viewpoints. So what can I bring besides being a silly little boy with book reviews? I want to do a couple different things. I want to get creative with it. I want to do character analysis, book analysis. I also want to do like a series like Books That Should Bang, where I take 2 different books and combine their concepts into make a singular title, combining both of those elements, and see what we can come up with and have a little fun with literature. I also want to do little song reviews and stuff. And I know that maybe this isn't easy to do, and I don't expect it to be easy to do. That's okay, because I'm going to grow as a person doing this. And all I have right now is my iPhone, which I can't really show you because I am filming on it, and a $5 ring light. And I also have some editing programs on my phone. I suppose I also have some on my computer, and I'm just going to see what I can make with it. Another kind of little reason that I do want to hold myself accountable to reading is, unfortunately, I am losing my eyesight. My left eye is covered in a cataract, and if I cover it, everything is just a big blur besides this yellow orb coming at me from my ring light. And my right side isn't doing too hot either. I might lose my ability to see soon, and to pay respect to the literature that kept me sane all those years growing up, I feel like I need to read as much as possible before I eventually do lose my vision and can no longer do it. And I know that audiobooks are still going to be there, but it's just not the same, and I don't want to rely on audiobooks for the rest of my life. But I think I need to do this reading journey and read as many as I can, because I'm not promised my vision forever, and it's rapidly declining, and I'm fucking scared because of it. So this is sort of a way to keep my ADHD brain motivated, to keep myself involved with the community, to kind of reinforce them synapses, like I said before, and keep me in the habit of doing what I love, not falling into a depression, not letting myself doom scroll, and not letting myself be idle and just take it as it comes, and for me to fight back and do what I fucking love. This is what this channel means to me. This is important to me. So this is what you can expect, is that I'm taking this seriously. I really want to engage with a community that cares about books and wants to discuss them and wants to have fun and make friends. That's what I want, is just a community that we can all have fun and, well, keep it lit. Life's too fucking short to do anything else. I hope that maybe you find the motivation to subscribe and join this little community from this Newbie Booktube tag. But if not, it's okay, because we're going to keep pushing and we're going to have fun. And if you are someone like me that really deals with bullshit and literature's your escape, hopefully my channel can also be that little piece of solitude for you, where you don't have to deal with the bullshit for a little bit. You can just kind of tune out. Lord knows you probably need a fucking break from it all. We all do, and it's okay to want a break, because you deserve it. You're human, and that's okay. Let's just talk about books and fuck all the rest, and let's keep it lit. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hopefully I see you in my future videos.